Tyrone Bowman Live, news headlines. Pam Bondi rescinds a policy banning politically appointed DOJ employees from attending partisan events, according to CBS News. Attorney General Pam Bondi has rescinded a policy that prohibited political appointees at the Justice Department from attending campaign events or fundraisers, according to a memo seen by CBS News on Wednesday. The move undoes restrictions that were previously implemented by former Attorney General Merrick Garland starting in 2022. Federal employees are already subject to restrictions on political activities under the Hatch Act, a law that aims to keep the government free from partisan influence. Coming out of New York City Mayor Mandani announces robust measures to keep New Yorkers safe as temperatures rapidly drop Sunday night. And what you should know, the city expands efforts to keep New Yorkers safe and warm. Cold blue begins at 4 p.m. Expected lows of 17 to 20 degrees with wind chills as low as 8 degrees. Today, in preparation for a temperature drop of up to 20 degrees, beginning early Sunday evening, Mayor Zohran Kwame Mamdani announced expanded efforts to connect homeless New Yorkers to warmth and safety, and to raise awareness about the dangers of the latest cold snap. The city will increase the number of warm winter access relief and medical ambulances and mobile units operating through Sunday, March 14. The multiple warming outreach initiative will provide clinical consultations and distribute essential supplies, including blankets, warm clothing, socks, hot meals, and water. Units will also transport unsheltered New Yorkers to a warm location of their choice, including shelters or warming centers. The city will open warming centers at Department of Education or DEO schools, deploy additional warming buses, and continue the 311 to 911 diversion during the cold blue. The city is deploying 500 outreach workers, including staff from the Department of Social Services, the New York City Health Department, and New York State agencies. Outreach will focus on areas with high concentrations of homeless New Yorkers, informed by lessons learned from previous cold weather events. Mayor Mamdani also directed city agencies to ensure appropriate warmers are provided to shelter residents. Overdose prevention centers will remain open overnight Sunday. Peer outreach teams pairing outreach workers with formerly homeless New Yorkers will continue encouraging people to come indoors. Several syringe service drop-in centers will also remain open overnight from March 1st through March 4th. With possible light snow over the northern half of the city Sunday morning into early afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is important that we all be informed about safety measures in order to keep people safe. So, with possible light snow over the northern half of Sunday morning into early afternoon, the New York City Department of Sanitation has issued a winter operations advisory beginning at 7 a.m. Sunday. A winter operations advisory is the department's lower level snow response as opposed to a snow alert. While sanitation crews have cleared more than 20 inches of snow that fell last week, piles remain in some areas, and colder temperatures may create icy conditions. More than 700 salt spreaders, including specialized bike lane spreaders, are filled and ready. The department will continue coordinating from its Snow Command Center using the new Blade Runner 2.0 tracking system. And in other news, in other related news, in Philadelphia, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer, a jury has awarded $1.6 million to the sons of a diabetic man who died in a Philly jail. I will keep you updated on that story as information is made available. From the World Wrestling Entertainment, Penta captured his first WWE title by defeating Dominic Mysterio of Judgment Day for the Intercontinental Championship on Monday night. Penta secured the Pitfall win with a Mexican destroyer after a 16-minute battle. Tension flared within Judgment Day as Finn Balor prevented outside interference following a surge where the debuting Deshaun allegedly cursed Dominic. Wow. Taxpayers, New York taxpayers, will fork over more than $36K per child under Mandani's free 2K pilot program. According to the New York Post, taxpayers will shell out more than $36,000 per lot for Mayor Sirhan Mandani's free 2K pilot program, roughly $13,000 more than the average cost of private care. City officials announced on Tuesday they acknowledged it as well. Governor Kathy Hochul allotted $73 million in state funding for the 2,000-seat pilot launching in the fall, or about $36,500 per lot, as the pair move toward fulfilling Mandani's promise of universal child care for all city kids from 6 weeks to 5 years old. The two Democrats joined forces in Harlem Tuesday to announce the 5 school districts, mostly lower income and diverse neighborhoods, that will get the first shot at signing their little ones up for the freebie previously dubbed 2Care. There's another story here. Hopefully this one will come up real clear. We'll see in a second. Forget that one. Okay, Senator Tillis called for Noam's resignation. Senator Tom Tillis called for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to resign Tuesday, accusing her of leadership failure during a Senate hearing. Tillis criticized the agency's disaster response in North Carolina and his handling of a deeply immigration enforcement shooting in Minneapolis. He also cited an Inspector General's report alleging stonewalling and threatening to block future nominations. According to CBS News in New York, Sean Diddy Combs has received an earlier prison release date of April 25, 2028, currently serving a 50-month sentence at Fort Dix for prostitution-related charges. The music mogul's original June release was moved up following his enrollment in a drug abuse program and credit for good behavior. He is also preparing for an appeal hearing next month. Elijah Blue Allman, according to USA Today, son of Cher and the late Greg Allman, was arrested twice in New York, Hampshire this past weekend following an alleged assault at a private school on Friday. Police arrested him again on Sunday after finding him smoking on a stranger's couch. Allman faces charges including burglary and simple assault, and he remains in custody. As you already know, Bill and Hillary Clinton, they testified before the Senate committee concerning the late Jeffrey Epstein's alleged sex trafficking ring. The Clintons didn't have any new information to offer the committee, and I think I posted on yesterday that I posted the video of Hillary Clinton sparring off against Representative Lauren Boebert. All right, here, not guilty on all charges. Superior Court Clerk Elizabeth Craver has been cleared, according to Port City Daily. After 9 hours of deliberations, a jury has returned its verdict in a trial of a Superior Court clerk in Pender County. Elizabeth Carver was found not guilty on 3 felony counts of obtaining property by false pretense, according to a 12-person jury. It was a full day of sitting and waiting for the decision, though the jury did ask around 11 a.m. for 3 pieces of evidence to review, including text exchanges and timesheets for Craver's former employees. Christy Moore, By 4 p.m., it seemed a decision would be unlikely, but by 5:30 p.m., when Superior Court Judge William Stetzler was ready to recess the courtroom, he stated the jury had reached a verdict. Upon announcement of not guilty, Craver's side of the gallery seemed audibly pleased with the decision as she wiped away tears and hugged her attorneys, James Allard and Godfrey Holsford. Craver said after the verdict, "I am thankful to my staff, my family, my friends, and everyone that's been here to support me," quote, close quote. The case has been a 2-year affair, with prosecutors alleging Craver used roughly $1,400 in county funds to purchase items for personal use, including a MacBook Air laptop, office chairs, and a portable air conditioning unit. Craver took the stand during the trial and maintained she followed the law while conducting her job as court clerk and purchasing items she said were for work purposes only. The state brought 9 witnesses to prove Craver was guilty of misuse of taxpayer funds and urged the jury to stop her from continuing this behavior. Prosecutor Jordan Ford and Sarah Garner likened Craver's alleged misconduct to a small cut, which if left undressed would become a gaping open wound. You know, this right here sounds insidious. They had a 2-year investigation into Craver's 10-year career. And this is where we are. Allard said in his closing argument, "If this is the level of corruption, I think Pender County will be okay." She was appointed in 2017 and elected to full term in 2018 and 2022. She is up for re-election this year and is on the primary ballot. Her trial concluded on the same day that polls opened and closed for primary election day voting, and she was exiting the courthouse after the verdict on Tuesday. Craver told people close to her that she was excited to focus purely on the race with only 2 hours left open in the polls. Craver faces against Camille Costin Harrell, a former employee appointed interim clerk following Craver's 2024 suspension due to the charges. Well, she should sue them. You know, I know this is news headlines, but I think she should sue them outright. Bring a massive lawsuit against the prosecutor's office, win, lose, or draw. These people have to be sued just to let them know you can't go around destroying people's lives because you feel like it, because this is what they do. If they don't like somebody, they'll destroy their life and disrupt it to no end. Well, if you're interested, Tyler Perry is expanding his Netflix lineup with the new firefighter drama, Where There's Smoke, starring Tyler Lepley and Eltony Williams. Fans are also preparing for Beauty in Black Season 2, which returns this month. Meanwhile, Perry's latest comedies, Joe's College Road Trip. I saw it, y'all. It is hilarious. I'm just telling you. It is hilarious if you want to watch it. And it has set viewership records on Netflix, and Sisters continues his dramatic run on BE2. All right, these last 2 headlines here. A mistrial has been declared according to CBS Miami 4. A judge declared a mistrial Monday in the murder trial of former University of Miami football player Rashawn Jones. Jurors remain deadlocked over charges that Jones killed his teammate Brian Pata in 2006. While prosecutors argued the shooting stemmed from a long-standing feud, the defense highlighted a lack of direct evidence. A hearing on a potential retrial is scheduled for today. If you don't know already, there are new SNAP rules that are in place. New federal rules now require able-bodied New Yorkers ages 18 to 64 without young dependents to work or volunteer 80 hours monthly to keep SNAP benefits. President Donald Trump signed the legislation last year, which extends exemptions for veterans and people experiencing homelessness. State Attorney General Letitia James says these changes risk pushing families into food insecurity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it right now for news headlines on Tyrone Bowman Live. Never surrender, never quit.